Step 6, the essential plugins for WordPress. So with this, we're going to look at some of the most essential plugins for WordPress. I want to talk a little bit about what a plugin is. Do you really need these plugins, and which plugins I recommend, as well as other professionals out there, and what's needed for most travel blogs. So let's dive into our dashboard and we'll talk further about plugins. So looking at the dashboard, you want to come over to this tab here, click on plugins, and it's going to bring up a variety of different plugins that you already have active, which ones you need to update, a couple that you must use. And plugins in general are some easy tools that are going to make your life a lot easier. So for example, if you want to hook up your analytics, instead of being someone that codes and jumps into the code of the website, there's a lot of different Google Analytics plugins where you'll just take one piece of code and put it in or plug it in, and it's going to help you throughout your whole site. So there's a lot of variety with plugins. Some are for different sign-up forms, helping you create emails or pages that will help people opt in. If you click Add New Plugin, you're going to be brought to where there's a ton of different options. So for example, something like BuddyPress is basically going to let you create your own community with your website, let people create their own profiles, and you'll just see a ton of different options. So whether it's Facebook or posts or sidebars or widgets, these are what plugins are all about, is being able to make your life a little bit easier without doing a ton of the coding on the backside. And so you might say, do I really need plugins? Well, the truth is, just about anything you can think of that you might want on your website, there's probably something already made for a plugin. So for example, if you wanted some social icons, what you can do is come over here, type in social, and then you'll even see right away here that there's different social media share buttons and social sharing icons. And instead of going into each and every web page that you've created, this easy plugin, you literally click install now and you have the functionality of something that would be a lot harder to code yourself. And so now I'll talk about the top plugins that I recommend. And again, there's hundreds, so I'm only going to talk about my top plugins. So not in specific order, but I would say Yoast SEO. It already has 1 million active installations, and it's something that you can definitely benefit from. It's going to show you how well written your articles are or your posts are, and gives you overall SEO or search optimization, helps you write better content and fully optimize your site. So I highly recommend this and use this on just about every site I've ever used. Jetpack right here is another one that's a great plugin. What Jetpack does is it helps show your stats, your related posts. It helps with search engine optimization, social sharing, backup, and more. And again, over 1 million people utilize this, and it has over 4 stars. Contact form, that's something that's very simplistic, easy to use, and over 1 million people utilize this as well. But this is something that if you do need a contact form, you can come here, install it, and get started right away. One last plugin that's highly recommended and a lot of people use is this plugin called WooCommerce, and it's a very powerful tool that helps you basically sell any products or services within your website. And I don't want to run through all of these. What I do is encourage you to come through here, and anything you can think of that you might want on your website, always check with plugins to see if that idea has already been created. So there's different featured ones, popular ones. There is a recommended tab, a lot of favorites, and then premium, meaning you'll have to pay a little bit. So come here, check this out. If you have any kind of email service or any other services you utilize, there's probably a plugin that does help integrate that within your website. So there are your essential plugins, or the top plugins that I recommend. And if you have any that you really in particular utilize, please let me know, and we'll keep moving on to the end here.